parents got divorced when I was 5 years old. I guess due to drug issues on my mom's part. So she left when I was about 5. I didn't see her again until third grade-ish. Between that time, it was just like me, my dad, my brothers, 2 brothers, and it was like I was the lady of the house, so I held like the responsibility of what the lady of the house would do. So I was forced to grow up really fast, and I didn't really notice it at the time, but I missed out on a lot of like being a kid. So by being forced to grow up really fast, I got really frustrated all the time because even though I was like playing the part of someone that was older than me, I was still young. So I was still treated as such, and that bothered me. So we moved around a lot, so I was not good at being, I was just really not a people person. I hated people because they were mean, and I hated people because like, I didn't want to connect with them because then I would actually want to stay somewhere, and then I knew I wouldn't be able to stay, so it was like I shut people out in general. I like hated everybody. So as I continued to hang out with her more, I started to like her, and it was like my coming out of my shell from hating people and starting to like kind of like a person. Whenever I was there, I felt like I had to play a part for them, and I had to dress like up on Sundays, and I had to say certain things and be certain ways and do stuff and know stuff. And if I didn't do those things, it was like I was like frowned upon. I almost said shunned, but frowned upon. And I didn't like that. I didn't like feeling like I had to meet their standards. So I stopped going slowly. I was like kind of fading away from it, and at this point I believed there was a God. I just didn't believe that God wanted me there. And so I went to Young Life and loved it. I loved the entire fun of it. And then after I found out it was actually a Christian thing, because towards the end of the night it was like they had a message. And they were talking about, at the time, like that first time I was there, they were talking about the love of Christ. And I was like after the evening I was like, dude, Christ loves me. He loves everybody no matter what. Like I don't have to dress up and like play a part and look a certain way and do things just for him to love me. Thought that was the coolest thing ever. Still think that's the coolest thing ever. So I kept going. Like I didn't miss a single Monday night for like the longest time, and I just progressively like became just a brighter, like happier, more open to people. Like I would talk to anybody about anything. Like I had nothing to hide. Like I really started loving people. Like from my hating people immensely, like not wanting to be around them, don't talk to me kind of thing, to just wanting to be around them constantly. So I continued in Young Life, and I kept learning more and more, and eventually I started going to, stopped Mormon. Like I completely stopped going to Mormon church and started going to Praxis in Tempe. And the more I learned about like the Christian lifestyle, the more I knew that that's what I wanted to be a part of. Like I wanted to follow Christ as who I am rather than what a church is telling me to be. I was like the happiest person ever after that, and I've continued to be the happiest person ever. I know that I have a lot of joy in my life, but I don't know. I mean, I know that God put it there, Like, because finally, after I really started to get to know him, is when I started to really feel it, I guess you could say. But it's not like, it's not happiness, because happiness is temporary and it comes in like spurts, like, oh, that made me happy. But joy is something that keeps going. Like, it's continuous, it's with you, it's not just like, it's deeper. It's like, you can be happy, but you can be, like, always be joyous kind of thing.